Applejack, what have you done? Applejack, what have you done,
The orchard
man?
was as eerie as the everfree forest, to the three fillies shuffling along one of the many paths. Apple Bloom led her friends deeper into its fields with a single-minded determination. For a short time after her sister's hospitalization, Apple Bloom had believed Granny Smith when she claimed that her sister wasn't well enough to be visited. However, when the weeks passed with no word, the Crusaders had demanded to see Applejack in the hospital, only to be turned away by the staff each time. Every new doctor and nurse they had seen gave the fillies a different explanation for the denial of their visit, before hastily ushering them out the door. Soon after, rumors and whispers of disappearances around Ponyville had surfaced. Miss Shirley addressed the confusion and the panic by insisting the ponies had fallen ill from heat stroke. Apple Bloom didn't buy it though, especially when an unspoken increase in security could be seen around Ponyville. Fillies like the Crusaders were no longer permitted to be outside their home past sunset, as ordered by Princess Twilight herself. With every new lie told, Apple Bloom's patience wore thin and her temper flared. She knew if she were to get any answers, she would have to find them herself. Ponies were so distracted by the unchanging heat of the day and the panic of the night that it wasn't too difficult for the three fillies to stage their escape. They had arranged a harmless playdate at Fluttershy's cottage, reaffirming that such a thing would brighten their spirits. They knew that Fluttershy would spread herself thin, caring for her animals suffering under the heat, and might be the only pony they could evade. Though she was hesitant, Fluttershy agreed, hoping it would convey the point that things weren't as hopeless as the ponies feared. The night had begun innocently enough, playing games with Fluttershy and her animals with forced laughter and smiles. When the time came to sleep, Fluttershy was no fool. She posted her bear friend at their door as an informal guard. The Crusaders were told this was just a precaution to keep them safe, but they knew it prevented them from sneaking out at night as they had before. What she didn't count on, however, was Harry the Bear's distracting appetite and how easily he could be persuaded away from his post by the scent of honey. Sweetie Belle held the delectable jar outside the window with her magic, and Scootaloo flapped her little wings to send the scent his way. Within minutes, the Crusaders had evaded Fluttershy's security and were alone in the darkness again.
It's too hot. I want to go back.
Sweetie Belle whined, magicking a leaf from the tree branch nearby to fan herself as she walked. Scootaloo reared up on her hind legs and flapped her wings rapidly, causing a little breeze for her friend.
Thanks,
Sweetie Belle said, heaving a grateful sigh.
We can't go back. Do you know how much trouble we're gonna be in?
Apple Bloom chimed, standing next to Sweetie Belle to enjoy the breeze, before Scootaloo flopped down onto the ground in fatigue.
Well then, what are we doing here anyway?
I told you. Big Mac said there's a bunch of tools missing from the barn. And yesterday, I heard him tell Granny that he found one of them in the West Orchard.
But what does that have to do with Applejack?
Don't you see? Only Applejack and Big Mac knew where they kept the tools, and there was nothing else wrong with the barn. I checked it myself.
But if she went to the barn, why not just go home?
Well, Granny said there was something wrong with Applejack's mind. Like she didn't know who she was and who other ponies were either. And that's why she had to stay in the hospital for so long. Maybe she just got confused and tried to get back to work on the trees and then got lost.
Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo exchanged worried glances. Hearing Apple Bloom tell the story to them now didn't seem quite as exhilarating as it did when they were planning to go out on their own. Neither of the little fillies had the heart to tell Apple Bloom that her idea was a long shot at best, and missing tools didn't explain the other pony disappearances. From lack of a response, Apple Bloom continued.
I just want to see if we can find something in the West Orchard that maybe my brother didn't see. He was a mite tired from the heat when he found that old rake, and he didn't really think he was gonna come back again for a while. I just can't let Applejack get more lost.
What if we get lost?
Don't worry, I know where I'm going.
Apple Bloom insisted, pressing onward and faking a look of certainty.
What's that awful smell?
Scootaloo chimed in,
Uh-oh, they're
covering
getting
her
close to the
nose with her
bodies.
front hoof.
That's not
Sweetie
good.
Belle and Apple Bloom following suit.
Ew! It smells like...
Like that time we found that dead skunk next to the clubhouse.
Girls, does that look like dried blood to you?
Apple Bloom stammered, stopping dead in her tracks. She pointed to the dead patch of grass, stained with crimson hoof steps, that led further into the orchard.
I think it's time to go back now.
Look, it's Rainbow Dash's saddlebag.
Scootaloo said, bounding after it alongside her friends.
Uh-oh.
Maybe she's still here, and maybe she found something. A clue to...
She paused, gasping in terror when she lifted the saddlebag off of the ground, only to find it had been resting in a fresh pool of blood.
Let's go back, please.
Sweetie Belle cried in terror, her eyes watering and her legs trembling.
Listen, do you girls hear that?
Apple Bloom whispered, causing the other two to fall silent. The three fillies strained to hear the sounds of garbled cries coming from somewhere in the direction of the bloody hoofprints.
Rainbow Dash!
Scootaloo
Oh, shit.
screamed, abandoning her logic and racing alongside the blood trail in a blind panic.
Scootaloo, wait!
Apple Bloom protested. She and Sweetie Belle weren't too far behind. All three fillies came to a grinding halt when a wounded Rainbow Dash sped backwards through the air, landing with a crash into the trunk of an apple tree. Rainbow's face was badly beaten, and blood oozed from her lips. Her left
Oh,
eye was
God.
swollen shut, and her legs and torso were marred with hoofprint bruises to indicate she had been beaten and bucked.
Oh my
Clasped in
God.
her right hoof was a strange-looking
She's
needle
beating her
filled
lips are
with a white
fucking
shimmering
blue. Oh my
substance.
God.
Somewhere in the opposite direction, the assailant was laughing and shouting.
I won't ever go back! And nothing you pathetic ponies do or say can make me!
Applejack! It's Applejack!
Apple Bloom finally muttered, choking on her words as her mind tried desperately to understand what she was seeing. At that sound, Rainbow Dash's head spun around, making eye contact with the three cowering fillies. Seeing them there gave Rainbow a surge of adrenaline. She leapt from the tree she had crashed into, moments before a hoof-held spade spun and stuck into the tree.
What are you doing here?
Rainbow screamed in anger, pushing all three fillies with her head in the direction she wanted them to go.
Run!
The Crusaders didn't need to be told twice. They ran from the carnage as fast as their little hooves could take them. That is, except Apple Bloom. Still shocked by the sound of her sister's voice, she deviated from the others and doubled back after Applejack.
Shit!
Rainbow screamed, heading back for the foolish filly and biting down hard on her tail before running again.
No! It's Applejack! I'll hurt her, I did! Stop squirming!
Rainbow muttered angrily, with the filly's tail still clasped in her mouth. It wasn't long before she had caught up with Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle, whose little hooves could only move so fast. Rainbow charged ahead, pushing her way through the mass of fallen branches to make way for the other Crusaders. Once on the other side, Sweetie Belle tripped over a large fallen mass and tumbled a few feet away from it. When she opened her eyes, she let out an ear-piercing scream. That mass was none other than Princess Twilight herself, her head laying in a fresh pool of blood.
Oh my God.
Rainbow's head turned sharply around to shout something at the fillies, inadvertently tossing Apple Bloom in the process.
Don't stop!
However, Applejack sprang from the same thicket of branches, kicked off the ground with her front hooves, and bucked Rainbow clean in the jaw. Rainbow skid across the ground, but made no sound other than the garbled intake of breath. The lower half of Rainbow's jaw was completely dislocated, and now hung with the skin exposed from the carnage of her snout. The Crusaders ducked behind one of the trees and fell deadly silent. Not a single one of them could understand what they were seeing. Applejack had created an orchard graveyard of all of their friends from Ponyville. The missing tools were the means for their deaths, and still stuck out from their mangled remains. It was nearly impossible to tell who was who anymore, with the carnage of one pony's death seeping into another. Too traumatized to move to safety, they could only watch as the pony they once knew as Applejack descended upon Rainbow Dash, her next prey. In the light, the Crusaders could see the monster Applejack had become. Her right front hoof had a chunk of flesh missing and was oozing a sickening green pus, while the fur underneath was blackened and long dead. Her back legs, having once been broken now, looked strong with bones set incorrectly, causing her stance to widen and her left back hoof to drag along behind her. Her fur was marred by all manner of scars and matted with twigs, blood, and other pieces of fur and hair that were not her own. Most disturbing of all, though, were Applejack's eyes. They had completely clouded over, with the exception of two dark black pupils, staring straight into Rainbow Dash without any hint of sanity or mercy.
I told you, I don't want your fucking cure,
Applejack said, spitting on Rainbow Dash, who fought against choking on her own blood.
Cure?
Applebloom looked up from where she had landed, searching frantically for the needle that had been flung from Rainbow's grasp at the same time she had. Dazed and still in shock, it took a moment for Applebloom to focus her eyes and concentrate on nothing but finding the needle.
Do you honestly think there's anything left to cure, Rainbow? Do you still believe you're saving me?
Rainbow's eyes darted from Applejack to spy Applebloom creeping towards the needle, which was sticking out of a pile of dead pony debris. Applejack chuckled to herself. It swelled in her chest until she laughed madly in Rainbow's face.
Didn't you know, Rainbow? I'm the thing you fear most. I'm that madness crawling around under your skin, squirming, writhing around inside, just waiting to get free.
Applebloom's face lost all color. She pried the needle from the debris, having to pull it out of the eye socket of another one of Applejack's victims.
Oh, Rainbow, didn't you know? I am the inevitable. I'm the harbinger of fear.
Wait, did she just do a freaking Thanos line? Editor Mecha, did she just pull a Thanos? Because I remember from Endgame, spoiler alert if no one's seen it, fucking Thanos, before he tries to snap everybody, he says, I am inevitable.
And the messenger of truth you silence with hope.
Rainbow Dash made conscious efforts to not look at Applebloom, and instead riled around on the ground to keep Applejack's attention on her.
Don't you dare kill her,
Applejack took the bait, stamping her hoof hard on Rainbow's back, and leaned down close to her ear. And that truth is that in the end, there ain't nothing at all except me. Applebloom waited until she was within range, then charged at her sister from behind, the needle held high in hoof. She pierced into Applejack's flank and plunged the liquid into her bloodstream. Almost as if on reflex, Applejack reared her hind legs in the air and bucked Applebloom hard into the nearby tree. The dark stillness of the dungeon cell was broken by the sound of approaching hoofsteps. Applejack lifted her head from the cot and looked expectantly towards the door. Her only indication for the passing of time came from the light of a small window too far from her reach. When sunlight passed over certain stones on the wall, Applejack knew to expect her daily meals. It was the only change from the monotony of silence. This time, however, the approaching pony came entirely too early. Applejack's mind raced, hoping at last she could learn what was going on. Some pony magicked a key into the lock and opened the cell door. Applejack winced from the sudden brightness, but her expression quickly turned to a smile.
Twilight?
Hello, Applejack.
Twilight replied, her voice tinged with the professionalism that Applejack had only heard used in the presence of acquaintances or important guests.
Thanks, Celestia. I was beginning to think that some pony forgot I was here. What in the hay is going on?
What do you remember?
Applejack frowned and slumped back onto the cot where she had been lying.
I remember asking you for help and taking that strange potion of yours. But after that, things get really hazy. Next thing I know, I'm all wrapped up in gauze and bandages, down in pain pills like they're candy, and trying to get over the fact that I looked like I had been in some kind of terrible accident. What happened, Twi?
Twilight pursed her lips and fidgeted on her hooves. There was a slight tremor in her voice, as if she were needlessly nervous to answer.
Applejack, I don't know what you're talking about. There was no potion. You worked yourself too hard and it caused a mental break. You were spouting nonsense and acting violently. Not only did you harm yourself, but you harmed several others, turning your orchard into...
Into what?
Into a slaughtering ground. In your hysteria, you took the lives of 13 ponies and attempted to take mine and Rainbow Dash's lives as well.
What in the hay are you talking about? I'd never harm another creature.
Wait a minute. Did she just say there was no potion? Oh my god, you big fat fucking liar. She's lying. She's trying to manipulate.
And I certainly would never put the lives of my best friends at risk. And of course there was a potion. You're the one who gave it to me in the first place.
Applejack, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
You can start by telling me why you're lying.
I am the princess of friendship. I have ponies who rely on my guidance, and I can't be taking the blame for the mistakes of my friends. Your mental break must have caused you some confusion.
Take the blame? You're the one accusing me of murder, Twi. We both know that I went to you for that potion. What was in that thing? Why can't I remember what happened? What did it make me do?
Applejack shouted, wishing she could stamp her hooves down in anger, but feared the searing pain of doing so. Twilight completely ignored the outburst and continued.
Princess Celestia and I don't believe in corporal punishment, and given the fact that you've assisted in saving Equestria on numerous occasions, we decided to grant you your life, a sentence to be carried out here for the safety of other ponies.
Why are you doing this? You know me, Twilight.
Applejack muttered, her voice tremoring as her mind tried to accept her friend's betrayal.
So Twilight's trying to not take the blame because she knows she gave Applejack the potion. What, is she afraid that she's going to be given a bad name for what she did?
If there was such a potion, and I'm not saying there was, I would have tried to caution you to its adverse effects before giving you anything that could be considered dangerous.
Bullshit.
That's it, isn't it? You're absolving yourself from the guilt, blaming everything on me so you can sleep at night, knowing what you've done.
You're the one who carried out those heinous crimes and disturbing deaths. You have no pony to blame but yourself.
Bullshit.
Applejack looked at the pony who used to be considered her friend with a cold stare that could penetrate Twilight's heart. It wasn't like her to be so cold and calculating. The Twilight she knew would have stood with her friend and owned up to her mistakes, no matter the cost. While she racked her brain, searching for a plausible explanation, Twilight broke the silence.
I found a cure to whatever it was that ailed you. Even though I was too late to save the others, I knew I could save you. It wasn't until you were safe here that I could really focus on the drought. I did something even Celestia couldn't do, find a spell to save Equestria. That's what I do, Applejack. I'm the Princess of Friendship. I wield the most powerful magic in the world, and it's my responsibility to harness that magic for the good of every pony. Equestria can't afford to lose the both of us.
So you sacrifice your friend to bury your secret. What about the element of honesty, Twi? The magic of friendship doesn't work without it.
It turns out that Starlight Glimmer might be more useful to Equestria than we thought. She wields the element now.
Applejack sat, dumbfounded. The life she had lived passed through her eyes like a...
So, wait, Twilight's playing the basic scumbag here? Wow. Oh my god. So this is kind of a villain arc here. Yeah, Applejack did kill him. But you gave her the potion. You did that. I think she's trying to lie because she doesn't want to be given a bad name. Because she knows that she'll be punished badly by the princesses.
flickering memory, and she knew this cell was made specifically for her to rot.
Why'd you come then?
To say goodbye. And to see if...
If I was cured. Sorry to disappoint you, but I am. Your spell worked.
Twilight bit her lip and lowered her head. If Applejack wasn't herself, she could justify this in her mind. But Applejack wouldn't give that to her. She wanted Twilight to live with the weight of this guilt for the rest of her life.
Is Rainbow all right?
Rainbow Dash is still recovering, but she should be fine.
And my family?
Twilight hesitated again. She rubbed the back of her neck with her hoof nervously before answering.
They're all right. I should go now.
No. What's wrong? Is Big Mac still hurt?
Twilight's horn ignited, and she made her way towards the door.
Is he?
He's fine.
And Granny?
I've gotta go, Applejack.
Apple Bloom?
Twilight flinched at the mention of Apple Bloom, and Applejack picked up on it immediately.
What's wrong with Apple Bloom?
Goodbye.
Twilight said, choking back tears as she closed Applejack's cell door and locked it again.
Twi, where's Apple Bloom?
Oh my
Twilight
god.
briskly walked away from the cell towards the guard pony waiting to guide her out. The sound of Applejack's cries were masked by the boom of thunder outside and the new rainfall hitting against the prison wall.
Twi, please, you owe me this much. Tell me she's okay. Tell me what happened to my sister.
Oh my god. And that's it. An apple sleep experiment. Oh my god. Oh. It's that song. These foreign thoughts inside my pounding in my head, screeching in my head. They won't let up until he's gone when he's dead, only when he's dead. The memory of his cruel gaze, I see it through my mental haze. I wander down these older paths. I see him here, I see him there. My god, this is good. I love I like that song, whatever. I forgot what song it was. It was the Apple Sleep Experiment song. So this was her big project that one time for October. Big support to the Patrons, as always. Gotta show that support, man. Yeah, Apple Sleep Experiment, that's what it is. Happy Nightmare Night. Holy crap! That was insane. But look at there. Sequel, guys. Another Apple Sleep Experiment. We are gonna watch that next time. Oh my god, that was insane. Dude, I don't even know what to say. Applejack. Oh my god. Like, I know you don't deserve those crimes, but god, I love you. Why would you do it? I love you. Oh. I mean, I know I got the Apple Sleep Experiment on the back of the shirt that she put, like the date and everything. So we're gonna end it here, I guess, because I mean that's about the end of it. So next time I'll watch the sequel, which is another Apple Sleep Experiment. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I'm curious what's gonna happen. You guys already saw me react to this in the Grimdark Songs compilation video, and I guess that's it. I guess that's where we'll end things. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Be sure to comment down below your thoughts, and be sure to check out Anteater-By Qumu. Be sure to check out TheLostNarrator and support her through her amazing videos. I swear, she is amazing with her content. Please go show her the support. But thank you everybody so much for watching. As always, we will see all of you in the next video. Bye bye!